Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Kaiser War here. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit low. It's super late at night, and I'm not feeling too hot right now, so I kind of have to, keep my voice at a reasonable volume just to not overwhelm myself. so, a while back, I made a video about REYNATIS when it was first coming out. The game that looks very much like Final Fantasy, the Versus 13 we never got, with some hints of Kingdom Hearts in there, and a lot of KH fans and Versus 13 enjoyers, at least people who wanted to enjoy the game, are having their eyes on this game. And again, I don't know much about the company making the game, but the game does look a little rough. I will admit that. I wish it did have a bigger budget, but I'm okay. I'm willing to forgive that if the gameplay is as fun as I expect it to be, and as the soundtrack's also going to slap because Yoko Shimomura's on board, and yeah, I really am excited for REYNATIS despite the way the game looks. But I'm sure the game will be decent enough when it comes out. I'm really hyped for it. But anyway, so a while back, uh, somehow REYNATIS started talking with the Twitter account for The World Ends With You. The one of Square Enix's properties, which I found very hilarious. And then they busted out some crossover artwork. There was some artwork putting the REYNATIS characters in the Worlds in Which You style, like put them on the cover of Neo, The Worlds in Which You. And then the REYNATIS team drew art of Rendo, the main character from Neo, alongside the main character of REYNATIS, Marin. And I think that was really funny because I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I love they did cross promotional artwork with their companies, and I think with the games, and I think that's super cool because both of those games take place in Shibuya, and I think that's hilarious. And everyone's like, this is super cool. Crossover fan art. People really want to see more of the Worlds in With You because people feel like Square Enix kind of snubbed the Worlds in With You, which I can understand. And it's kind of cool seeing like another company acknowledge the World in Which You, and the World in Which You acknowledges that game company. And it's kind of funny because the creator of REYNATIS is a big Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts fan. You can even say he's a big Square Enix fan in general, right? So that was funny, but a lot of people kept thinking, okay, this is going to turn into something crazier. But at the time, we didn't know. I just sat there and thought, okay, well, this is just going to be a April Fool's thing, like it was April Fool's. It was funny, cool crossover. No, no. Turns out that it's much more than I thought. The Worlds in Which You is fully collabing with REYNATIS. They're actually characters from the Neo, the Worlds in Which You are going to appear in the game. Music perhaps is going to appear in the game, and like it's insane just to learn that this is even happening, like an actual crossover. Again, this was originally pitched as an April Fool's thing, but no, this April Fool's joke is real. Like, a lot of game companies don't do that. When they do April Fool's stuff, they just do April Fool's stuff, right? So when you hear about like the Worlds in Which You crossing over for REYNATIS, there's something insane about that, and I like this. This is super cool because like Worlds in Which You is getting recognized, right? And REYNATIS is getting like recognition through that as well, and probably in the greater Square Enix space as well. Because I told myself this is like a Final Fantasy game that's not made by Square Enix, right? Because keep in mind, the creator is a big Versus 13 like fan in Kingdom Hearts. Okay, he Versus 13 doesn't exist as a full game. Okay, so I guess the creator is going to take it upon himself to make it, right? He gets Kazushige Nojima, who not only wrote for several Final Fantasy games, but also was going to be one of the writers alongside Nomura for Versus 13. He got him on board to be the scenario writer for REYNATIS. He gets Yoko Shimomura, who's the composer, one of the main composers for Kingdom Hearts. On top of that, going to be the composer for Versus 13. Got her on board. And then, literally recently, it's revealed that Nomura himself is on board, because Nomura was the very reason that they even have the Worlds in Which You collab in the first place. The creator of REYNATIS collab with Nomura, and they got the Worlds in Which You in the game. And it's kind of funny to me because I remember I talked about this before a long time ago when REYNATIS was dropping, is that like people really like the idea of Versus 13. Versus 13 was that one idea people really wanted to see but never got to, right? Nomura is still trying to make Versus 13. He's still trying to make it through Verum Rex, right? And then you get this. You get the guy got Nomura himself, who he was inspired by to make this game. And it's insane because Nomura also worked on the Worlds End With You. So not only he got the Worlds End With You, he got Nomura's approval for the Worlds End With You and the approval to make his REYNATIS idea. And I think this is super cool because it all loops back to Nomura. And I think that's insane. Like, I think this is the funniest thing like any video game has ever done. Like, it all loops back to Nomura. And it's kind of, again, the idea of Versus 13 was so appealing to people that people still want to make their own Versus 13, including Nomura, who's using Kingdom Hearts as his conduit to make Verum Rex. So, like, it's funny. And again, I don't know what people's current thoughts on REYNATIS are because I haven't really checked out people talking about the game too much. But a lot of people are agreeing that the graphics do look rough, but they think the game is still going to be good. I feel like you get Nojima on board, right? He's wrote for several Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy 7, well-beloved games. So I'm sure the game's story will be great. Okay, Yoko Shimomura, of course her music's going to be great. Even from what little I've heard of it in the trailers, it sounds amazing. Okay? And, we don't know when the game's going to come out in September. So, we have time before that comes out. And obviously there's probably going to be DLC and stuff like that. But that's later down the line. But I'm excited. And I'm excited to know that Nomura is even involved with the project to begin with. Like, the crossover to begin with is actually insane. And, like, this whole game feels like a Square Enix game not made by Square Enix. And I think that's super awesome. Like, I'm looking forward to REYNATIS. I definitely am looking forward to this game and seeing what it's going to bring to the table. And I really hope to see more of it. Like, I hope like this game actually sells enough for Furiyu to like make more games like this. I think that's insane because this game required a lot of just pulling from Square Enix's talent. Now, granted, Yoko Shimomura is freelancer, but she did work at Square at one point, and she did do Square Enix games, music, right? So it's funny pulling her, funny pulling Nojima, funny pulling Nomura, and keep in mind Nojima and Nomura are both Square Enix employees. So like, yeah, they had to collab with them, which means they had to talk to the Square Enix higher ups to even get to that, which I think is insane. REYNATIS is going to be awesome, I swear.